we're gonna learn about how shadows are formed and how they're made. First, we have to learn how the light travels. We all learn that light travels in straight lines and can sometimes be reflected or bended. By the surface that's rough, it's getting bended. But the surface that's smooth, it's getting unbended, reflected back. Like your all day companion mirror to see how your hairstyle looks. I'm just holding this ball for example. I'm going to give you a show for this. So we are going to learn how shadows are formed. So we have to learn first how light travels. Light travels in a straight line. That's the one of the conceptions. The first conception you have to make that all objects give shadows, but their versions are different. Some have other positions, some have light shadows, or some shadows are so dark you can see them in dark rooms, space and all clearly. But you can also get tricked by your own hands making shapes like this. If you can see, it's just a hand gesture like this, like super. But if you do it in a shadow, it looks like a deer. So you see, light is moving here like my hand. I am an opaque object. That means when I see the light, it goes in the straight lines. It hits to me but doesn't pass through me because I like most only not allowing any light to pass through. It does get reflected like here bending, but it makes a shadow. You can see my hands and all, even my hand. So let's start to learn. Light travels in a straight line, and when that light gets hit by an object, for example, let's learn how opaque objects form a shadow. Opaque objects are things that are made out of stuff like white cups. You have cups, our glass cups, like cups that are colored white, blue, red, like coffee or mugs and all. They are opaque, and they don't even let any light to pass through. So for this ball example, it's an opaque object. It also is a rough object. It does when the light from the flashlight gets reflected here, the light makes a shadow. If and the flashlight's a little close to me, that's why the shadow's appearing bigger than the object. When the light source is far away, the shadow is small. This is how you can express shadows' positions. But this is just the size. It's not about the positions. Of course, position trials can be reflected like same things there. But let's learn. So, when you go today at morning, you'll see when you go to morning, the sun's right here low. At morning, your shadow will be here in the right long. And then at noon, your shadow will be straight here in a sharp position. And at late evening, you'll see your shadow again long, but this time it's in right. Because the sun is here reflecting the rays this way to create and getting blocked by us, creating this shadow form. And when the light is here and the light is getting blocked by the ball and creating a shadow there. Because it's the most common thing. I'm holding here and the light is here in the right and the ball is in the left. That makes a total sense that it is like that. And so let's have a puppet show we are planning. My teacher Anuma had taught me a lot about shadows. I'm very interested. Shadows are like so cool. As you can guess, it's a bird. Mr. Deer. Ow, hello. I'm loving Mom being. Ow, someone recording me? The grasses. Yummy grass, yum. Nice. As you learn from a lot from the puppet show and the explanation I did before, shadows are mostly currented and they are needed for the human system mostly because they help us with the end. When the sunlight reaches, the sunburns don't reach us that much because the shadows are there to protect. I'll tell a second reason. The materials shadows cause. So this is an opaque object that causes a shadow. So you can't see anything. If there's light already there before you and there's no shadow, your shot is very light because there's already a lots of lights in my living room. So now we're going to see with a transparent object. I don't have any transparent, but I will pretend I have. So if this was the transparent object, like say a window, it is very likely to form only a little shadow. It allows a lot of the light to pass through it and hence is always considered window, glass, all that. Translucent objects are stuff that are clearly and opaque. They are both sentences but they are very different from both. Transparent allows a lot light, opaque doesn't. But this one has a little confusing. This translucent object selects both the capacity. It partially lets light through it. It lets some light through it and makes like a grayish shadow. But a transparent object barely makes shadow. Opaques can easily make shadows. Shadows are very important to us. They help us from the sun rays. Like sunburns when you go to the beach and spend too much time without sunscreen, you get sunburst and tan. They also give us the right temperature. Like for example, it's a sunny day, there's no other light source or fan. Your shadow helps you with those stuff. It makes you cool and adjust it with the temperature. You could even though your shadow is there to help you, you should still wear sunscreen when you go out. Me, Linisha. Thank you from me, Linisha 40.